At the most recent Nintendo Direct, a game caught my eye. That game was Tales of Kenzera, so a Metroidvania styled adventure with a unique theme. It's inspired by the myths of Bantu culture, and the African setting, it is not one we see enough. Now, after this introduction to the game, even though it turns out it was actually revealed probably a couple of months back, I had to dig deeper, and what I found was there was a demo available on Steam. Now, if you do enjoy this video today, subscribe. It helps out the channel a huge amount, but I also want to be very transparent here. I will show the Switch trailer today in the video, but who knows how much of that is actually performing on the hardware. So the majority of the gameplay you see will be from the Steam build and my time with the demo. What that means is today I can't answer the visuals on the Switch. Naturally, there's going to be downgrades in areas. Alongside that then as well, the performance on Steam, I am running things at 4K. I'm also running at a locked 60 frames per second. So it comes from actor Abubakar Salim, and it's a story shaped by his own experience with grief and how as humans we do manage to push on, and that's really what has me intrigued, the story. It's the tale of Sao, a young man, a shaman, who makes a deal with the god of death, Nganga, to bring his late father back. And while the demo is only around 30 or so minutes, I would say, the characters just appear really well done. You know, Sao has his flaws, he makes bad decisions, and he battles with the emotional weight of his situation. Our overall end goal then, it seems, is to take down 3 gods or mythical creatures, and then Nganga will reward us. I'm just really enjoying the dialogue this far. The characters are relatable, and alongside that at the same time, there is a lot of back and forth between Sao and Nganga, and none of it feels unnecessary. It's always kind of pushing that narrative forward. On top of the main quest as well, we're also starting to see secrets in this world. We can find almost, I guess, sculptures which do reveal a little bit more about the Bantu culture. Gameplay then is solid. It's an action platformer, and I think the combat is the most important element. We get 2 masks, the moon, which is ranged attacks, and then the sun. This is all about close quarters. It's all kind of like flaming swords and so on. But here in this game, we can switch these weapons freely on the fly, just a tap of the button, and both of them possess a light and heavy attack. It seems we're able to juggle enemies in the air, and as you're sipping all over the place, it feels extremely rewarding. I would say overall as well, the movement is just extremely fluid. It almost reminds me of the recent Prince of Persia. When you learn to chain things together here, it really is that kind of rewarding sense of being an incredibly capable warrior. So think here when it comes to movement, double jumps, unlockable abilities, some necessary backtracking of course. There's also a dash which allows you to pass through certain walls. They also provide invincibility frames. Then you'll be wall jumping and earning additional special abilities such as the early power to freeze water, and then you can use that as a platform for that traversal. So yeah, I think I'd describe it as just some very cool ideas on display right from the very beginning. This all said though, I do want to address one thing. It says Metroidvania styled, and I would agree it's definitely inspired by, but each location seems a little more, let's say, linear and disconnected than one large map. Now, maybe that will change in the final release. In the pause menu, I do see a map option, but as it stands, I seem to be progressively moving very much in a straight line with no reason to backtrack other than when I need things such as keys for specific locations. I've only seen really as well a few different branching pathways. Then alongside all of this as well, it seems there's going to be depth in the gameplay as well, because we have trinkets that can add additional skills, a codex that reveals there's going to be a decent amount of locations and enemies to come, and a skill tree for both the different masks, so that's the moon and the sun. Think things like quicker recharge times in regards to the stamina, so really curious to experiment with the character in that way. When it comes to problems with this demo, then I've got very few complaints. In fact, I really only can think of one, and I want to be transparent here. The demo opens with the statement, this is very much a work in progress, but one of these locations, it's very much a design, so I don't think it's going to be something they rectify for the final release. But there is a moment when you are jumping into flowing water, and essentially instant death obstacles do appear ahead of you, and you need to jump and evade these as quickly as possible. It feels Very kind of old school in its design, and I don't think it necessarily fits with the rest of the gameplay. That said though, it makes for a very entertaining backtrack later on when you need to freeze this water and use it to traverse your way out of this location. Basically, a bridge collapses that traps you down here. Visuals and audio, then I'm going to keep quick again. It is a demo, very early stage of the gameplay, but I think it looks and sounds absolutely stunning. First of all, the visuals. The African theme is just absolutely beautiful. The colors pop, and as we do open the game in kind of wide open spaces, very kind of like rocky and natural, later in the demo, we will start to see the culture's, I guess, influence on the landscape, man-made bridges, different obstacles, mythical creatures. This also then throws us underground as well for caverns, and that's where you get to see and admire the lighting effects of the different masks, the moon and the sun, as you do start to tackle and evade those different enemies. The music then is absolutely beautiful. I'm really excited to hear the full soundtrack though. I will reserve any kind of comments on that until we do get that full release. So Tales of Kenzera Sao is shaping up to be something special for me personally. I'm really excited to check it out. I'm glad it kind of caught my attention during that most recent direct. It is coming and being released by EA Originals then, but it's coming with a very fair price tag. It appears it's right around $17.99 USD or your regional equivalents. When it comes to the game on the Switch as well, really, I think the big question is going to be how much content are we actually going to be getting in the experience? It's a very cheap price point, so hopefully there's a good, a decent length story packed in here. But also, how is that performance gonna be? Can they carry it across, and can they get it to the required, I guess, 60 frames per second? We saw what Prince of Persia did recently, so I see no reason why they can't achieve that very same thing here. It seems the team behind it are extremely passionate, and no doubt that's gonna be the focus of their attention when it comes to the hardware. So will you be checking out Tales of Kenzera Sao? Let me know in the comments. Also, jump over to Steam, maybe check out the demo for yourself. It was part of Steam Next Fest, and they have now decided to leave it in place until the full release of the game. So I'm just editing this video now, and I've realized with the pricing, there's actually a special pre-order bonus as well. So I just wanted to quickly throw this in here. But right now, if you do pre-order the standard edition, you're going to be receiving a 10% discount. So I presume that's already baked in here at $17.99. So it's probably going to retail right around $19.99. Now on top of this then, you will also receive Kalunga's Blessing visual effect variants, 2 shaman points to unlock up to 2 skills in game, and then the Soul Shifter's digital companion comic. Not sure how I feel about the whole idea of locking shaman points to unlock 2 skills behind a pre-order. Seems a little bit silly. You're going to earn those, in-game anyway. And the same thing with the Kalunga's Blessing visual effect. It seems a little bit cheap to kind of lock that away again behind a pre-order, but maybe you want these things, so I did want to point it out. Finally, it releases April 23rd, so get that note on the calendar, keep a bit of an eye on it. I think this could definitely be a surprise hit of 2024. So with that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks everyone.